risk of collision, what do you do, action to be taken to avoid a collision, the narrow channels, and then the traffic separation schemes. So you see already we're seeing the regular rules of the road driving coming into play in the on the water rules. 5 has to do with the lookout. Every vessel at all times shall have a lookout. It may include sight, seeing with your eyes or binoculars, hearing it on the VHF radio, and if you have operational radar, then you must use it. However, keep in mind that radar is a supplement to the lookout. The human eyeball to eyeball does not replace the lookout. So you can't turn your radar on, have a vessel avoidance capability on your radar, and go down below and not be watching what's going on. You have to physically have a body with eyeballs at the operating station or on deck. If it's foggy, then your lookout should be posted low, down low, and forward as possible to observe or hear any oncoming vessels in the fog condition. Every vessel should have a lookout. That's Rule 5. Well, the question comes up, what about that single-handed long-distance sailboat racer, one person on board the vessel sailing around the world? Obviously, they have to sleep, go down below and eat. Well, they're busted because they don't get that free get-out-of-jail card because they are violating Rule 5. Well, that's what happens. Next, we take a look at Rule 6, the safe speed. How fast should you be going? Well, you have to proceed at safe speed at all times. It should be where you can take proper and effective action to avoid a collision and stop within a distance based on the existing circumstances and conditions. Some of these conditions may be fog, restricted visibility, so you're going to have to want to slow down based on the density of how many other boats are in a narrow channel or adjacent to you. How well does your boat maneuver versus the other vessels around you? At night, the presence of background lights. This was a picture in Biloxi. A lot of casinos, a lot of lights, and sometimes the stop-and-go lights start looking like navigation lights. And also the state of the wind conditions, current, and maybe surrounding objects is going to dictate the amount of speed that you should be using, and also the draft of your vessel. Next, we'll take a look at risk of collision, Rule 7. So every vessel must see or must use at all times means available to determine if the risk of collision exists. And if there's any doubt, then assume that it does. There are a number of rules in the book that allow you to, an in-doubt situation. And then you can make an assumption. You always assume to the conservative and to the safe side. If it exists and the compass course bearing to another vessel does not change appreciably, then the risk of collision exists. So the formula is constant bearing, decreasing range, you're going to collide. Here's a little model of that. If your boat and the other boat are on a constant bearing